Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
All right, thank you. I think we're all intrigued by this thought of you haven't seen the Astros in literally a year. I think it's a year ago today or yesterday that your last game against them. As a catcher, you have the unique benefit of knowing from the pitching standpoint and the hitting standpoint how big a difference that is. What does that mean?
Yeah, I think when it comes to seeing what guys are doing, obviously you can see some film from what they've done this year. But I think when you just go back and look at their track record, I mean they're a very, very complete lineup. You know, they're solid from 1 through 9. Have great bats off the bench. So it's one of those things where we're gonna have to stick to our strengths. I mean, the biggest key for us is obviously getting ahead of guys and trusting our stuff.
Right. What about facing their pitchers, though, many of whom are new to their roster? I don't think you even saw them in the big leagues before, and obviously you wouldn't have seen them in the minors.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. It's one of those things where, obviously watch some film on what they got there, but I think we're going to have to, communicate as a lineup, what guys are doing, to either righties or lefties and sort of share that information. But, we got some guys that can go out there and just flat out hit. So, I don't think it will be a totally bad thing.
Hey, Mike, did you watch any college football yesterday by any chance?
Yeah, they didn't put UCF on yesterday because they lost to Tulsa.
Come on, man.
I believe that's $5 too, by the way. Yep.
But just kind of going back to Friday for a little bit, kind of with that lineup that the Yankees have, and just kind of the situation of playing in a Game 5, how impressive was just that performance by the staff, and where does that kind of rank for the games that you've caught?
Yeah, it's up there. I mean, what you saw those guys do against that lineup was nothing short of amazing there. I mean, to limit those guys to 1 run, really limit damage, wasn't a crazy amount of traffic, but guys did a great job out there. It's one of those things, though, where I think it shows what we're built off of. When it comes crunch time, I mean, these guys have a different gear, and it's one of those things where there's just a lot of depth in that bullpen, and then, heck, in a Game 5 decisive like that, when you see Blake and Charlie double barreling down there, the arms run pretty deep, and it's fun to watch, but it's nice to see those guys have success.
Hey, Mike, how different, though, is this challenge? The Astros had the fewest strikeouts in the American League, and they still have a lot of power in their lineup.
Yeah, it will definitely be a challenge for us. It's one of those things where, we got to stick to our guns. We got to attack guys, trust our pitches, not try to do too much. It's one of those things that works out well, too. We have a great defense, and, our pitchers fully trust the guys that are playing behind them. So we're just going to go out there and try to execute our pitches and see what happens.
Do they have to accept that there may be fewer strikeouts and it's okay with weak contact if you're getting that against some of their hitters?
Yeah, I mean, I think what helps us is our guys fully embrace that. There's 2 ways that guys can usually attack us. It's usually try to get us early or wait us out. But, I mean, if they try to do that and we can get some weak contact and keep pitch counts down, keep guys in the game longer, I mean, that could really help us out.
Anything else for Mike?
Hey, Mike, you've had the experience of being, with the Mariners for a while before you came here. A couple of the guys in the Rays organization, pure Rays like Kiermaier Lau, who haven't been elsewhere, talk about this family atmosphere, this, joy in the clubhouse kind of thing, supporting each other. Is that different than from what you've seen elsewhere or what you've heard around the league kind of differently? Is it something unique here?
Yeah.
So why?
Yeah, and that's, definitely not a knock to any of the teams I've played for, but I think when you get, 25, 28, 35, all the guys that we've used this year, that buy into the same goal, that, truly are on the same page and have one common goal in mind, and that's just to win every night. You see that. And like you said, there's a genuine care for one another, and I think that goes a long way in this sport. Sometimes it's tough to find every buddy on one team to buy in, but this team definitely has that.
And just to follow up, is part of that accepting that Cash is going to, jump? I think you've literally used a different lineup every game. He's like 60 for 60 or something. And, you might not play a day maybe you thought you were going to play, and other guys have obviously had to come off the bench. Is just getting that buy-in part of it? Yeah,
I think the biggest thing, that's sort of the message from day one. Cashy comes out and says, hey, look, we're We're going to do some things that aren't normal per se, but we're going to need everybody in here to win ball games. And, that goes hand in hand. Guys know that they could be called upon at any given time to help win a ball game, and that keeps guys engaged. It keeps guys in lineups, and, it's one of those things where it keeps the atmosphere loose, and, that's a big credit to Cash and, the coach to keep everyone bought in.